Share via email post to your profile report story. Thanks for the party you guys, I really appreciate it. Izuku expressed his gratitude towards his classmates. Indeed, it was one of the best night of his life. No problem, Midoriya, said Kirishima, patting his friend on the back. Oh, and dude, he whispered. Congrats, and your girlfriend is asleep, he teased. Izuku's face turned red because of the remark. Ochako is officially his girlfriend, but it's still not sinking in for him. Thanks KK Kirishima, he uttered, lowering his head out of embarrassment. Wait, she is, he exclaimed, looking at the table behind him. She must have been exhausted, he smiled. Midoriya, birth to Midoriya, Mineta said, tapping his friend on the forearm. Huh, Mineta, oh what's up? I said happy birthday Midoriya, impressive party right? Deku smiled. Yeah, thanks Mineta. By the way, why are you wrapped in a cocoon earlier? He asked. Mineta shook in embarrassment. Well, I kinda made a move on Uraraka earlier. He looked up on his friend and saw him just staring at him. I didn't know she was gonna be your girlfriend, I swear, said Mineta. Huh, it's fine Mineta, just don't do it again ever. Sure, promise I won't. I respect you well enough to do that again Midoriya, he said in fear. Well, thanks again Mineta, Deku said cheerfully as Mineta walks away. Dude, why are you shaking in front of Midoriya? Denki asked with a slight chuckle. I told him I made a move on Uraraka earlier, Mineta replied. He seems to take it well. Why are you scared? Ever since beat the big boss that I'd rather not be on his bad side, said Mineta. Well, that's great, I guess you should do that to everyone, man, Denki replied. What are you people standing around for? It's time to clean up, Iida announced with determination. Oh come on Iida, it's late, let's just leave the tables here and clean up tomorrow, Mina complained. The whole class glared at their class representative with disapproval. Fine, go to bed and get some rest, we'll clean up first thing tomorrow morning, Iida reluctantly instructed. By the way, Midoriya. Yes Iida, the birthday boy asked. You should probably wake Uraraka too. Yeah, you go on ahead Iida, thanks for the party, he smiled. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow Midoriya, Iida replied, exiting the venue heading to his room. After Iida left, Izuku gazed back at the still asleep Ochako and smiled. Hey nerd, a familiar voice called him. Hey Kachin, what's up? You should wake your girlfriend up, it's getting late. Yeah, I figured she must have been very tired, Deku replied, staring at his currently asleep girlfriend. Of course she is, nerd. By the way, I never got to say this the first time, but it's good to see you back. Thanks Kachin. Promoted stories you'll also like. MHA reacts to Paranormal Liberation War. Company. 73.1K 1.8K. Paranormal Liberation War. The event that shook the world of My Hero Academia and turned the entire country of Japan into a lawless land. Many heroes lost their lives in A Dragon's Trust Book 1. 2.2 M 60.4K. A Dragon's Trust BNHA Various X Nightlight. Reader Book 1. And Quad. W. What are you in Quad? And Quad. A friend. And Quad. Tilde 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 tilde. Female. Reader. Male and female love interest. My Hero Academia. Overcoming Fear. 7.8K 422. Since Hikari was a little girl, she's been afraid of using her mother's quirk. All her life, she's only used her father's quirk, because she was afraid of becoming like Hikari. Open hollow corner bracket volume 2 Omake's close hollow corner bracket. 4.9K 170. Blank, underscore, blank. And Quad. This is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes. And Quad. Blank, underscore, blank. Anti-hero. 26.5K 941. Yaoyorozu Momo, Bakugo Katsuki and Todoroki Shoto are top students and unlikely friends from UA Academy, a school in an alternate Japan that has 80% of its entire populace. Lunar Night MHAOCS 15.8K 415. And quad, my quirk may be dangerous, but I am the killer. And quad, SS, SS. The Rising of the Shield Hero of Peace 38.1K 789. When All Might, formerly the number one hero in Japan, also known as the symbol of peace, is transported to a world where he is dubbed and quad, the shield hero and quad, his name. Don't get the wrong idea, nerd. I'm just glad I get a chance to beat you to the number one spot fair and square. He barked, turning his back and walking away with his hands on his pockets, leaving Deku dumbfounded. What just happened? He asked himself. Deku Pav. After the strange small talk with Kachin, I glanced at Ura. Ochako once more. She looks really peaceful when she's asleep, so cute. I can't believe that beautiful girl is my girlfriend now. I snapped myself back to reality and approached her. I gently patted her on the back to wake her up. Ochako, wake up, you can't sleep here. Mochi, Mochi, she said, still passed out. I leaned my face closer to her to see if she's really asleep. Wow, she's really out. What should I do? Should I carry her to her room? I felt a heat rushing to my cheeks just thinking about it. What if she gets mad? Wait, she won't. I'm her boyfriend now, right? That's what I'm supposed to do. After convincing myself, I built up enough courage to gently pick her up as she lay still asleep in my arms. I stared at her face. She looks really cute even when she's asleep. I proceed to walk towards the elevator, still carrying her. I attempted to use my foot to press the button that would send the elevator to our floor, but fortunately I didn't have to do that. The elevator opened with Todoroki exiting. I looked at my friend and figured that something was wrong. He looked sad and a bit disturbed, so I decided to ask him. Todoroki, are you alright? I politely asked. Apologies, Midoriya, but I need to head to my room now. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Congratulations on you too, by the way. He faintly smiled before walking away. He seems a bit off. Did something happen between him and Yaoyorozu? He was in the girls' dorm after all. I entered the elevator and pressed her floor number, even with all the motion. She still didn't wake up. You're a deep sleeper, huh? I softly told her. When I got off the elevator, I entered her room. Well, here we are, Ochako. I laid her down to her bed and tucked her in. I watched her sleep for a few seconds, smiling, but then it hit me. Should I give her a good night's kiss? Is it okay? I'm her boyfriend after all. I began freak out but ultimately chose to do it. What could go wrong? I brought my face closer to hers to give her a kiss on her forehead. Why am I sweating? I did it. I thought as I pull away. Good night, Ochako, thank you for tonight. I love you, I whispered to her ear while caressing her hair. After a few seconds I stood up so I can head back to my room, but I froze when I felt a hand touch my wrist. I looked back and saw Ochako looking redder than usual. Oh, Ochako, how long have you been awake? I nervously asked. Once again I felt my face heat up. Surely she did not hear me right. Ochako's paw. Am I back in my room? I thought as I felt the soft mattress touch my back, waking me up. Did Izuku carry me from the courtyard?
Really?
I was about to open my eyes when I felt something touch my forehead. Oh gosh, Izuku just kissed me on my forehead. My face started to heat up and felt butterflies in my stomach. I wanted to open my eyes, but then I heard him mumble something close to my ear. Good night, Ochako, thank you for tonight. I love you. Hearing him say that didn't help my case. I was flustering so bad. On top of that, he starts to caress my hair. He was sitting beside my bed. I can tell that he was staring at me. I didn't know he could be even more of a sweet guy. Moments later I start to feel my bed adjusting shape. Is he going back to his room? But I want to be with him tonight. Come on, do something, Ochako. You can do this. He's your boyfriend, I'm sure it's okay. Izuku Pav. Oh Ochako. How long have you been awake? Did you hear all that? I asked. Even though I know we're a couple now, I can't help but act all nervous around her. She looked down for some reason. It got me worried. Ochako. What's wrong, are you okay? I grabbed her hand and approached her. Izu, please don't leave. Sleep here. What? Crap, this is getting out of hand. Are we going too fast? Will it be okay? What would everyone say if they saw us? Still, it would have been nice. I looked at her, failing to be discreet with my flustered face. Are you sure it's okay, Ochako? Yes. I know we just got together, but I want to be with you tonight, Izu. But if why you don't want to, you don't have to agree, I understand. No. It's fine, Ochako. I smiled. Now that she mentioned it, I guess it would be nice to sleep beside her this time. I looked at her once more and nodded in agreement. What could go wrong, right? I'll go get a blanket and a pillow so I can sleep on the floor. I smiled at her before attempting to go back to my room, but she grabbed my wrist again. I looked back and saw her now sitting up from her bed. And no, Aizu. Huh, what do you mean? You can sleep here, with me. She looked away all flustered. Not that I'm freaking out myself. Or why you sure? I nervously replied. Not that I don't want to. Yes, I'm sure, Izuku. She gently pulled me towards her and began to wrap her arms around my waist. After our brief embrace, we began to lay on the bed beside one another. I was shaking the whole time. This is the first time I got to sleep beside a girl. I lied on her bed with our backs facing each other. Normal Pav. The first few moments were a bit awkward for the couple. It remained like that until Midoriya decided to orient himself facing Uraraka's back.
No, you don't need to.
With all his might he wrapped an arm around her. Ochako, are you still awake? He asked. Little did he know, Uraraka's trying her best not to freak out on the fact that they are cuddling. Yeah. Izuku, why is the bed shaking? She asked, but then she noticed Deku's arm. The bed wasn't shaking at all, but rather it was her boyfriend himself. She let out a cute chuckle at the fact that Deku was just as flustered as he is. Sorry, it's my first time cuddling. On top of that, it's the first time I had a girlfriend. First kiss, and all those firsts happen to be with you. He smiled at her even though she was facing away from him. I'm sorry, Izuku, I didn't mean to force you into it. She replied with a little remorse. No, it's okay, Ochako, it's actually really nice. But can you face this way so I can see you? He boldly asked, earning a giggle from Uraraka. The moment she faced him, Deku began to turn red again. Is that be better, Izu? She reluctantly asked. Izuku looked at her eyes. Somehow it calmed him down. All the tension he felt out, his body disappeared. That's better, he smiled. Tonight was really the best night of my life, Ochako. Thank you, he uttered. Ochako felt weightless. She has been waiting for this. She fought for it, and now that he's here now laying beside her, she felt really at peace. Well, I wouldn't want your birthday to be uneventful, Izu. She cheered as she moved closer to Izuku. Midoriya, on the other hand, wrapped her in his arms. I guess so. Well, how about we end tonight cuddling to sleep? A minute ago you were nervous, Izu. She teased. What changed? She playfully asked. Well, looking at you now. I figured now that we're a couple, I should at least get my act together, right? He's really making an effort for us to work. Well, I must do my best as well.
Now you see how I feel when I had to wait for you.
She declared. They cuddled for a few minutes before they both fell asleep. For Izuku, it truly was the perfect end for a perfect birthday, with the perfect girl in his arms.
Well, you ain't did to that.
blank, underscore, blank, underscore, blank. Sorry for this boring as hell chapter. I've been preparing for the big final exam, so I haven't had much time to write often. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks again for taking the time to read this. Also, since this book will come to an end soon, I've been thinking of writing new fanfics to tell about izuocha. I wanted to know if you guys would like that. In addition, I'm planning to write an izumomo fic soon, so I want to know your opinion about that as well. Thanks guys.